Good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Welcome back to The Right Mentality. It is a Thursday, but we will come out on Friday. You know how we do. I want to welcome you all back to the show. We have another special guest today. This is a coach. I'm not going to say her name. You know how I do. So I'm going to let her introduce herself.
My name is Jana. I'm a strategic intervention coach and I work with relationships.
Perfect, perfect. She's here to discuss some tough talks, some tough conversations that we all need to have, including myself. But we're going to get into it about me right now. So, like I said, we appreciate you for coming on. Welcome back to The Right Mentality, good people. Today's topic is tough love. Now, when it comes to tough love, we all want to understand why we can't have those hard conversations, why we can't talk to loved ones, friends, families, whoever it is that conversation needs to be had with. And we want to know why. So, Coach Jana is here to discuss this information with us. Now, Coach Jana, why do you feel like it is today that families aren't as close as they need to be?
Well, there's a lot of answers to that. There's no one answer.
Mm-hmm.
But here's one thing I can say that kind of goes across the board. A lot of times when you get into any kind of relationship, whether it's a love relationship, a family relationship, whether it's a work relationship, a lot of times at the beginning of the relationship, you try really, really hard to get along. You
Yeah.
do everything you can. You say the right thing, you do the right thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then time passes and you start to take it for granted, right? The
Yeah.
thing is, when you're in a family relationship, everybody's included in the family. That's an unwritten rule in most families.
Mm-hmm.
And so you kind of take it for granted at the beginning. So you never even have that time where you're trying really, really hard to get along. So a lot of times is people, they just take each other for granted and they're not being kind to each other. It has a lot to do with it.
Wow, that is very true. It's like, what do they call it? They call it the honeymoon effect. So it's you get in
Yeah.
a relationship, it's all good, it's all fine and dandy in the beginning, but 2, 3 months down the road, we have an argument about something that we hate each other. That's the worst part.
It is.
Worst
It
part.
is.
So let's come together and talk about this stuff because you don't want to take somebody for granted when it's a person. Yeah, I love them, but I want to talk to them right now, or give me about a good week and then we can have a conversation about it. But by that time I've been done let it go, but you still want to talk about it. So then we bring it back, we get another argument. So let's not take people for granted. As fast as people leaving this earth, let's
Yeah,
bring it together. So
that's right.
okay.
That's right.
So
While we're here, let's make it magnificent while we're here.
exactly. Exactly. So now I get families and I know how we deal with certain things. I've been I wouldn't say a victim, but I've been in situations with my family where we all don't get along. We all don't want to come together. But when it comes to children and when they feel like things are unfair in the families, what do you feel like in those moments are like really happening when a child says, "Oh, this ain't fair. I don't understand why my life is like this." Like, what do you feel like what's happening?
Well, a lot of times when a person is complaining or they're arguing with you could just put the words "I need" right in front of whatever they're saying. I need.
Okay.
There's something they need because
Hmm.
humans have needs. We
True.
have needs, and you got to meet those needs, and we're always trying to meet our needs. We have
Hmm.
needs for security, especially a kid. You want to know you got a house and the food's going to be there and your mom's going to be there, and you're going to have some toys and some friends to play with. You need
Hmm.
security, but adults need security too. You need security, you need belonging. There's a lot of things. You need to feel important. And a lot of times if a person's complaining, they're telling you I need something.
Hmm.
And so you need to see them and you need to listen to them. What is it that this person needs from me right now? So a kid is complaining because they can't what? What would be something common in your family? It doesn't have to be a little kid.
What's that? Kids can't get the new Jordans that just came out.
They can't get that new thing that they gotta buy, that new shiny
Hmm.
object that they gotta
Yep.
have. Okay. So you know this kid because you're their parent or you're their cousin. So you have to ask yourself, okay, what does that thing represent? It's not the toy. What is it? Is it gonna make them, is it belonging? Because they have it and their friends have it. So, they're in the group. Is that it?
Mhm.
Is it that when they get this thing from their parents, then they feel like they're important? They're getting significance out of it? Is that it? Is it that they're getting fun? They're getting tired of their old toys and they need something new. So, because people have a need to have things change and be different and have some fun and some variety. So the challenge, and if you know them, you can figure this out pretty easy. What is it that that thing is representing for them? And if you know what that is, then you can replace it with something else.
That makes a lot of sense because I mean we all have needs and wants, but when you actually need something, so if a child says, this isn't fair, why can't I hang out with my friends? Why can't I get this stuff like that? Yeah, there is a need for something like tell me what is actually missing or what satisfaction are you going to get out of getting what you need. So
Exactly.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I completely agree with that. So yeah, tell people, family, friends, whoever, what you need. Okay. Tell them what
That's
you need.
right.
So
That's
now
right.
I feel like this kind of hits home a little bit right here. Now, Coach Jana, I need to know this.
Okay.
Successful relatives. Let me hold
Uh-huh.
on. Because I need everybody to hear this. Successful relatives versus unsuccessful relatives. That might be stepping on some toes, but let's talk about the successful relatives versus the unsuccessful relatives. How do you fix those relationships right there? Because for
Are
me,
we talking about
go ahead.
are we talking about jealousy? Are we talking about people kind of lording over other people like I'm better than you?
Um, let's take on the fact of well, I mean, they kind of go together with the jealousy because a lot of people when they're jealous about something, you doing better than me, so you think you're better than me. So let's stick with jealousy because I just speaking from what I know, family, friends, whoever tend to get jealous of those that are doing better than them. So how can you fix those types of relationships?
Okay. Let's just assume they're jealous because they feel like they don't belong. If somebody feels jealous, that's an insecurity in them.
Hmm.
Can we agree on that?
Yes, we can.
They feel there's something missing in them, and that's coming out as jealousy. So
Hmm.
they're having a need to feel belonging because you're separate from me and you don't think as much of me, right?
Hmm.
The way it comes out of their mouth is, "You think you're better than me." But here's what's really going on in their head. "I think I'm less than you." That's what's really happening.
Mm. Okay.
So it's kinda on the person who's successful to kinda mend that, to let
Hmm.
you know, "Look, yeah, I'm successful, but you know what? You're still my cousin, you're still my sister, you're still
True.
my brother. And you know what? I'm gonna show you the ropes. If you wanna get what I got, then, we're you got me to help you.
Hmm.
and that makes them feel more like they belong and that they're not rejected and they actually have something. They actually have a resource there in their relative.
Okay. Now let's take it up a notch. When it comes to that, and I'm successful, you're not, or you're on your way, so to say, and it gets to the point where you keep failing time and time again. You keep going back to old habits, hanging out with the wrong crowd. I say, come on, man, let me try to help you. How long do you lead the horse to the water and let them drink and show them how to drink before you stop bringing them to the pond?
Well, the short answer is you keep bringing them to the pond forever as long as it doesn't hurt you in some way, right?
Okay.
Because you never know when they might start drinking, for one thing, and for
Mhm.
another thing, it's just a kind thing to do because it's what they want, because it's a need. You're meeting their need to belong.
Okay. Okay. So we keep helping, we keep pushing, we keep driving. It may not take a day, it may not take a year, but just keep pushing, keep showing that love. It might not now. Now we call this show tough love. Now, when it comes to that tough love, it's gonna be some days I might not want to bring you to this pond, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, whoever. But just hold on. Let me take a break. Let me go get some water first. Then I'll come back and get you later. That's
Mhm.
that's
Yeah,
how we do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
That's perfectly okay. You have limits. You have limits, and you let people know that you have limits.
Yes. I love to tell people you have to set boundaries, because if you don't set boundaries, you will put wear and tear on yourself trying to help and promote other people before you're even helping yourself. And while you're helping them, they're not helping you. So you're pouring all of you into them and they're not giving anything in return. And you're just going to burn yourself out. So, yes, you have to
That's
set
right.
those boundaries. Okay. Okay.
That's right. That's right.
Let's talk about it, people. So now, Coach Jana, I got one more thing. Now, when it comes to these relationships and the tough love and the conversations that we don't want to have with family, friends, now I feel like it's primarily family, because we try to hold those tough conversations. I had a conversation with a friend this morning, actually, and we have those tough conversations that we don't want to have. What could be two pieces of advice for those that are struggling, that want to have those tough conversations, but they hold on to them?
Mhm. Yeah. How do you begin? Well, I think that in a family, you gotta go back to the beginning.
Mhm.
You gotta go back and pretend that this is the beginning of a relationship. And this is kind of gonna take a little bit of pretending, because remember I said that we tend to take our family for granted. And one way you can start is to pretend that you don't know this person and you want to talk to them about something. So you go back to the beginning, and I call it the code of kindness. And you have to approach them in a gentle way. And this approach is kind of comes from spirituality. And there are ways that if things are tough, as this is a tough relationship, a tough conversation, you can kind of tenderize it by by going back and treating them like you don't know them. And there are certain things that tenderize better than others. For instance, being generous and not expecting anything in return. You have somebody you want to talk to about something that's really tough.
Mhm.
Make sure that you are doing all of the listening, being very generous with your attention and your listening. So you might want, if you have to have a tough conversation with someone, you might want to talk to them about something else first, anything else, politics, sports, whatever, and listen to them for, I'm going to be real specific, listen to them for 10 or 15 minutes straight without saying a word unless you're just asking for clarification, and really take an interest in them and give them that time, being generous with your time. This is so rare in our culture for people to do this that it will shock them, and you'll be surprised at how that will soften the interaction right there. And then you can start to talk about something that's a little bit tougher.
Okay. That's a good idea. So take this advice, people. I'm gonna take it myself. Pretend you don't know them, because that's a good approach to give it to them, as far as, hey, look, let's sit down. I want to talk to you about something. But did you see what was, you see the basketball game last night? Like, try to lead it into that conversation, but start it off with something soft, so that way, it's not a tense room, and that way we both can have a conversation in peace, and we both, come out with the outcome that we want. That sounds. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try it one day. One day. Okay. Okay. So, Coach Jana, now we appreciate you so much for coming on, talking about these tough conversations, tough relationships, the tough love that we all need. What is anything that you would like to share to the people, platforms, your business, anything that you want to throw out there to the people?
Well, anybody who's listening to Antonio today, this is just for people who are listening to Antonio. If you get in touch with me, send me an email and I will give you a free coaching session. You can get me by email, coachjana@gmail.com. That's S like Sam, I coach Jana, Jana @gmail. And I look forward to helping you out and meeting you.
Listen, it's about networking. Okay. Look, I didn't know she was giving out free stuff, but free. Look at there. So now I'm gonna post it in the description. Let everybody know you get a free coaching session. You listen in, comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Good people, come back. We got more to show you. We got more to tell you. Coach Jana, we appreciate you for coming on today. Good people, always remember, keep the right mentality.